Or, more generally, there was tapdance. Tapdance is one of my biggest hobbies. I spend a lot of time reading about it, studying it, watching it, and probably not enough time practicing it, as you must have seen. But you know how many of my close friends actually enjoy tap? Yes, you guessed it. 0. Apart from the people in dance class, no one I regularly hang out with does this. That is something I always wanted to change. Not by making new friends, no, that's scary, but by introducing my current friends to tap dance and hopefully making them join me. Thing is, when you show someone something like what I just did, it tends to scare them off. They'll say stuff like, no, I haven't got time to do that, or that's too scary, or even no, I don't have the talent. But for me, though my feet sometimes don't collaborate with the skill, the addition of steps always seems pretty logical. A similar situation would happen when I was trying to help them with their maths homework. You know, being in the advanced maths class and having a bunch of artistic friends pretty much makes you some sort of mathematical oracle who has all the answers to all the questions of life. But oftentimes the problem was not that my friends couldn't do the exercises, but that they would be too scared to even begin. I'll show them an equation like this one. And their eyes would widen, as if they had just seen a ghost. The problem in these two scenarios is the same. My friends would look at something that was built, rounded up, and presented to them as a single thing, and not as the multiple tiny parts that make up that thing. So in mathematics, we have the 4 basic operations. There's plus, there's minus, there's divide, and there's multiply. In tap, we also have 4 basic quote-unquote operations. There's step, that with minimal variation can be a bow, a tap, a stamp, or even a hop. There's a hill, there's a dig, and there's a brush. So step, hill, dig, brush. That is the basis of a lot of tap dance. And don't get my word for it, I'll show you in a second. But before we do that, I'd like you guys to try. So I know we're all probably sat down watching the stop, and you can stay that way. Just move your feet with me. So step, heel, dig, brush. A step, a heel, a dig, a brush. Not very hard, is it? Now we have the 4 base tones of both our common subjects. We have the 4 basic operations in mathematics and the 4 basic operations, or steps, in tap dance. These are the base tones of most things we do. Of course, as time goes on and with bands, new fancier base tones will be added to your tool belt, but you'll be surprised into how much you can do just with these. So let's go back to our initial equation. If you look at it, you see that most of what we're doing here is just adding, dividing, multiplying, and subtracting, but a lot of it. And sometimes you're right, you can dance to save us some time. In our combo at the beginning, all we had was a sequence of hills, followed by a brush, step, dig, tap, brush, step, dig, tap, brush, step, dig, tap, step. Then there was a step with some brushes, some hills, and ending with a tap. And so on and so forth. So what we did here is we got these large things that are scary and broke them down into parts that are more digestible. But this method works, and even better, the other way around. I was in tap class the other day when my teacher showed me a combo that had in it a step I had never seen before. It was a flat foot back heel toe, or it seemed way too advanced for my limited tap skills. So I broke it down into parts I already knew, such as the heel toe, and directed all my energy into learning the parts I did not, such as the two brushes and the nail step. I did not go there, but ignore it. And I actually was able to learn this way faster, with way more efficiency, and suffering way less. But before we start thinking this is some type of motivational talk, where I'm trying to turn you all into some hyper-productivity beasts, let me stop you just there. What I'm trying to say here is that every skill is acquirable. And no, I'm not saying as well that learning is easy or that it is something anyone can do with no effort. We're all too aware that there's a huge inequality in access to education worldwide, that having the time and the energy to learn anything is a huge privilege. And 2020 has highlighted the different challenges different people face when trying to study. But what I'm trying to give you here is a little strategy, not to freak out. We're constantly told that we should leave our comfort zones, that only then we will become better people, we will learn more, we will develop ourselves, and most importantly to me, we will be able to help other people in a more efficient way, living a larger and more positive mark in the world. But in a generation where everyone is freaking out all the time, pushing yourself to your limits does not seem very endearing. It seems, in fact, terrible. So this method I use of understanding the base stones of what you're trying to do, be it your step, your dig ball, be it your plus, minus, divide, multiply, or be it anything else, and then see how that comes to play in the larger task you have ahead of you, is, though very simple, very effective. So understand your foundation, use all your privileges to learn as many skills as you can, and then use these skills to help the people around you.